Devin Haney versus Regis Prograis generated just 50K pay-per-view buys is a lie. It's false, y'all. And look, I understand there's people in the boxing community that want to use the 50K to cater to whatever argument you may have against Devin Haney, even Regis Prograis. If you're debating and arguing about a potential fight between Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney, and you want to, devalue Devin Haney within that type of argument, look, nobody knows the number, all right? Unless if you in the business of those projected numbers. If you are the Zone, the CEOs of the Zone, Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing, DHP, Devin Haney, Regis Prograis, promotional company, and things of that nature, none of them have reported these numbers. Those are their business. So I understand there's people out there that will use these type of the 50K number just to cater to the whatever arguments they may have. But I believe that Devin Haney and Regis Prograis had a successful event. It was sold out. They had a successful event. And a guy like, Gervonta Davis does successful events as well. I've been to his fights in Washington, D.C. It was successful. We know the Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Davis was a success. Ryan Garcia was a success. Now, look, in the sport of boxing, there's going to be fighters that are just going to be more successful than others in terms of whatever pay-per-view buys or gates. It's always been like that. It's hard to find a equal, somebody makes more than the other. That's not really an issue. But in this community, they want to use it just to devalue whatever. But let me put this out. If you see tweets like this, the real Haney and Prograis pay-per-view numbers is the low 50,000 on the Zone pay-per-view. My pre-fight number over under was 65,000. We all know piracy is a big problem, but it's also had a horrible undercard, and holiday season pay-per-views have never do good numbers. In the U.S. numbers, Benavidez and Andre barely broke 60K. That was on pay-per-view on cable. Let's see what the December 23 pay-per-view does from. See, folks, and I know that's inaccurate because I spoke to a personnel that is involved with those projected numbers. And the day before yesterday, they told me they still haven't counted all the numbers yet. So if the information is not coming from those personnels, that these numbers like 60K, 50K, they're nonsense, they're false, they're lies. Now, check this out. This is what I'm talking about when I'm referring to people using these numbers to cater to their own argument. Leonard Ellerbe, Mayweather Promotion CEO, says, tweeted, the public decides who the star is. Tank is the star, period, in reference to Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis. The public decided their current commercial value is 50K pay-per-view buys. See, he even mentions 50K pay-per-view buys in the last fight. They had a very good gate at 1.7 million. In what universe does someone think they can call the shots? Can't fool the public. Now, remember what I said, that people will use the 50K pay-per-view numbers to cater to whatever arguments they may have against Devin Haney, Bill Haney. And as we know, that Leonard Ellerbe and Bill Haney has been going back and forth. So, of course, Leonard Ellerbe is going to cater to the 50K. Does he necessarily believe in that 50K? I don't think so, but now he's going to cater to it, like I said in the beginning of the video. But peep this. Leonard Ellerbe has gone back and forth with the same guy that has reported those 50K pay-per-view numbers. And he have tried to discredit that person when that same person, Ray Glazier, said that Gervonta Davis versus Hector Luis Garcia did only 61K. See, but he'll go against and call Ray Glazier a liar because it doesn't cater to his argument. But now he will certify those 50K because it caters to his argument against Bill Haney. You peep what I'm trying to say? Now, again, I believe the 50K numbers that they're putting out is fake, is a fraud, is false. But peep this. I also want to talk about this. Check out what Leonard Ellerbe tweeted. He said, numbers will never lie. The numbers will always tell the true story. The business will always dictate the current market value, always. Now, in my opinion, that's not necessarily accurate. Because think about it. The most lucrative fight of 2023 was Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Now, let's use the numbers that or some of you guys want to cater to, right? Those 50Ks or 61Ks or whatever. If you want to use the 200, 300Ks that Gervonta Davis did versus Hector Luis Garcia prior to the Ryan Garcia fight. Whatever number you want to use, whether you want to use the 61K, the 200 plus Ks, the 300Ks, whatever, right? The tweet that Leonard Ellerbe just tweeted for me is inaccurate because Ryan Garcia didn't do no pay-per-views before fighting Gervonta Davis. And Gervonta Davis, whatever you want to use, the 61K, the 250K, the 300K, right? If we go by his tweet and that's their current state, their current value, how do they did 1.2 million? See, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people was talking back and forth about, well, this is what Devin Haney has done. This how much he gained. This is his gate. This is pay-per-views. And this is Gervonta Davis stuff. And they'll go with another guy. Well, Teofimo Lopez never did a pay-per-views. And he's not worth. Well, Ryan Garcia never did a pay-per-view before Gervonta Davis. In the end of the day, the fight is the value. And the individual numbers prior to the potential fight that we want to see, for example, let's say a Tank versus Haney, or a Haney versus Tio, or a Haney versus Ryan Garcia. These projected numbers that they're coming out with to devalue Devin Haney is irrelevant. The numbers of Gervonta Davis prior to the Ryan Garcia fight is irrelevant. The numbers that Ryan Garcia never had, because he never had a pay-per-view event before the Gervonta Davis fight versus Javier Fortuna, is irrelevant. It does not relate to the quote-unquote current value of the fighter, because the fight is the value. And this is the problem that the boxing personnels, like promoters and things of that nature, they like to shy away from. It's a disservice for people to start talking about other people, what they did in the oh my God, he did 60, 50K with this one. Why is he going to go to the negotiation table and ask for this? Because every fight is a different fight, and every fight is a different value. Just like Ryan Garcia last fight, right? He didn't put it on pay-per-view. Why? Because he's fighting who? So the value of Ryan Garcia is still there, but the value of the fight is not a Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia fight. It's not a Ryan versus Haney fight. Do you really think that Devin Haney versus, let's say, Teofimo Lopez, that never did a pay-per-view buy, you think that Devin Haney versus Teofimo Lopez is going to do what you think he's value in the current state in 50K? Oh, Teofimo Lopez, all right, maybe they'll do, Teo never did a pay-per-view fight, so maybe he'll do, let's say, 80K. No, guys, no. All I'm saying, man, that all this devaluing the a particular fighter when we want to see the fight is just a disservice to everybody else in the sport of boxing. Fighters and promoters or rivals need to stop trying to drive down the value of certain fights. You know, it's not the job of Leonard Ellerbe to be talking about Devin Haney's fake 50K pay-per-view buys just so you could drive him down to uplift for Gervonta Davis. That's a big fight in the sport of boxing, right? Leonard Ellerbe also have gone and tried to discredit a Teofimo Lopez, right? But why would you discredit Teofimo Lopez? Because wouldn't you want to do business with, if you're still in the business of Tank, I'm just saying, if he's still in the business of Tank, wouldn't you want that fight to be big and value them? So when that fight may come through fruition, both of these guys' value is up. That's the problem in the sport of boxing. That's the problem. And then you got other people on Twitter with bogus numbers, and then they get this credibility from people. So then they know they got, like, let's say, like a Rick. He'll put a 50K, and there's going to be people that believe in it. But those are false numbers. Guys, who cares, man? We're fans. We just want to see the fight. And everything else is irrelevant.